Hi, everybody. Welcome to our lunchtime chat show at Voices of Courage Asia. Today, we are doing the parenting styles with the Enneagram. And of course, with me is Lillian, my
Hi.
co-host. And Lisa here. I'm the founder of Stiller Maternity, for those of you who are not familiar. And we've been starting this series on parenting styles with the Enneagram. And we have introduced so many different parenting style. It's been so interesting to hear from the different parents, their anecdotes of how they interacted with their children, and it's just been wonderful. And today we have a very special guest with us. We have Nicole. Nicole is a type 7 parent. Um,
Mm,
but we'll let her do more of the introduction later. But before that, let's get Lillian to give us a brief summary of what the Enneagram is all about for those who are joining us here for the first time.
yes, welcome. Thank you, Lisa. Welcome back to the Voices of Courage Asia channel, the parenting style with the Enneagram. Well, we love to use the Enneagram profiling tool because it goes way deeper than comparing to other profiling tools that we have been exposed to. So, looking at the core motivations, what are your core fears, your desires, your longing, your needs, what motivates you, and of course, your natural or automatic default coping mechanism and strategies when crisis happens, and I think to simplify it, why you think, feel and behave in a particular ways. Yeah, so that's what the Enneagram profiling tool is able to help us to have a like an x-ray, right, of how we behave and think and feel the way we do. So yes, and the series we are going to be focusing on parenting style. So let's hear it from our type 7 parent, Nicole. Very, very interesting personality. So let's bring her on right now. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Lillian. Hi, Lisa. Wonderful afternoon.
Hi. So Nicole, I mean, we are quite familiar with you here because we are all from the Women of Courage Asia community leaders. But let maybe you can introduce yourself to our audience here today. About yourself, your family, and what is it like to be type 7.
All right. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm Nicole. I'm a mother of two teens. So a type 7 is someone who is always fun is the priority. Fear of losing out, which means I have a lot of hobby. I like to do a lot of things. For example, I want to learn snorkeling. I also want to learn scuba diving. I can go hiking. I can also go cycling. I want to have a lot of different things. Whether is it outdoor, indoor. That indoor is I want to learn yoga. Then I also want to learn Pilates, all kinds of stuff. So that is a very typical 7, where fun and adventure is kind of like our tagline. Is very important for us. And so as a mother, as a type 7 mother, right, I believe I am someone. I have to use the word believe because my children sometimes will tell me otherwise. I believe I'm a very chill mom, which means sometimes don't give me all the details. I cannot remember the details. For example, I cannot remember the time. Their duration is from what time to what time. I really cannot remember. But if you say, oh, let's go for fun, let's go for cycling, then I will be the one, okay, let's go cycling on Saturday night. Let's go where to eat first, then we go cycling. So I can plan that. So I'm someone who is very independent as well. So my parenting style is also very independent. So I'll give you an example. When my son was much younger, so when he's a boy, so to me it's like, okay, if he fall down, he fall down. I will not be the typical mom who go after him and say, oh, you fall down, what happened to you, are you okay? No, I remember there was once he fly until he flew, and everybody was so anxious, and the person who knocked him down was so kanchiong, or anxious in English, correct English context. Was so anxious, went to check on him, but my checking on him is, okay, can you stand up? Do you know your name? Are you okay? Which part are you not? So you're good, okay, you're good. So come, let's go. So that's
Right. I think hearing from Nicole and knowing Nicole personally, we know that she's definitely fun-loving, and her life, is like sounds like very interesting. So many things happening, right? And um, wanting to experience, so many different things, and it's always on a very fast pace also.
Yes,
Yeah.
very
And
fast.
even when you hear her speak, right, it's pretty on the fast pace compared to the last session that we had with the type 5. Everything is slower in their pace. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for sharing that initial bit about how you actually react to your kids when they fall down. Yeah, we all respond very differently. Yeah. How about yourself, Lisa? Using the example that Nicole just quoted.
No, it's what I was like thinking, as a type 3, right? We one of the common traits that we also possess is also a type 7 trait. So I can really identify with Nicole. We're constantly finding the next best thing to do, next interesting thing to try. I'm a kind of high 7 in my score as well. So I can
Mm,
yeah.
me too.
So,
My 7 is
yeah.
also very high.
So my husband is tend to be the more passive one, the one to go out, just want to stay at home. He said, "Why you always every weekend got something planned?" Like, my life is so fast paced ever since you came. So I guess that's pretty much the pace of life in your home too, right, Nicole?
Yeah. So, but my husband is quite on the ball. So he's
Ah.
game as long as it's a rest day.
Ah, that's good.
Mm,
That's good. So he's also more outdoorsy kind. Also, he don't mind challenges lah. So that's good.
Yes.
mm,
But so, apart from this trait 7 that you say, they like to try new things,
Mm.
um how do you see that, are there any other traits of a 7 that are kind of evident that you see in your children's maybe even younger stage toddler growing up years that you felt um now looking back as you have learned the Enneagram,
Mm.
that you would have done differently?
Uh-huh. I would have done differently to my children.
Mhm.
Um, I think because this is a personality thing, you can't like take it away. I cannot
Mm.
like change overnight and say, oh, I decided not to be creative, or I decided to talk slowly like now. I can't. So I'm always very fast paced, very enthusiastic, and very quick. So I guess one of the thing is I just need to take note that if my children is not at my pace, I
mm,
just need to follow their pace, because as a parent we are their role model. If they cannot keep up with my pace, we just need to be a little bit more patient towards them, and maybe tweak a little bit towards their pace, but yet maybe also bring on some creativity in them, because I always feel that a type 7, we are very fast on our thinking, we are also very creative. I would
mm.
say maybe like nonsense, we are full of nonsense sometimes, right? So I realized that my son pick up my nonsense, actually sometimes will like say certain things, but then he actually don't mean it, and then we find that he's like full of nonsense, but yeah, we'll live with that.
So you say your son picked out your nonsense. Does that mean he's a 7? Have you ever tried, typing your children now that you've learned the Enneagram?
I try to, but I find it sometimes very challenging to type them, because while I find that he loved to try a lot of things, but I find that he's also very shy. He's not willingly to open up to stranger, but he's just nonsense at home. So I'm not too sure, could he be a type 7 wing 6 or other typing. So of course I
And
need
maybe a different subtype as well.
yes, so I
Maybe
need
a more
Mm,
self-preservation type.
correct. So maybe I have to go deeper, but I feel that my son pick up my trait more than my daughter.
mm.
Then what do you think is the trait for your daughter then?
Daughter, yeah. How is
My
her behavior like?
daughter, I suspect she could be a type 4, which
Mm.
means when she is fun loving, she is fun loving, right? She will go all out and play with you. But wow, when her mood swing to the other end, I'm like, okay, am I not supposed to step into your zone? Stepping into a landmine or bombs right now. So I believe she is a type 4, but yes, we need to type her more.
Mm.
So I guess that's the difference between a type 4 and a 7, right? I think some of the things that we learned between a 4 and a 7 is they all have very big emotions, they can feel a lot of things. But for the 7, generally they're all very
Yeah.
high in the happy zone, but they hardly go down to the sad zone. So,
Yeah,
but the 4 is very high emotion in both the positive and the negative feelings. They can feel very much of the both side. So I guess that's where you and your daughter would probably have some difference in trying to communicate in that level, right?
yes, correct. Like last night, she's so cute, right? She come over and she give me you know, her mouth start to like want to kiss me. So I said, okay, let's do it. And then she really kissed me. But sometimes she will like go away, don't come out, don't talk to me. Yeah. So very very extreme. So when she's fun
Mm.
loving, I will match her. When she's
Mm.
not, I will avoid her.
Mm.
Ah, so that's how you is that how you interact with her all these years? Like only when she's on the happy mode, where you meet, then
Mm.
there's more interaction. But when she swing to the sad mode or moody mode, um, that's where the interaction is less frequent.
It's minimized, but then I will talk to someone who can help her more, like my husband. So my
Ah.
husband know how to manage her. Then I'll say, okay, hey, your daughter today is not in a good mood, okay? Go and do your job. So I throw
So
her.
you have a team, very teamwork over there.
Correct.
Mm. Is there any way that you have actually attempted to engage her even when she is on the other spectrum?
Normally, I will wait. I will wait until like she calm down, or the next day, for example, I'll say, "Hey, what you did last night, I wasn't, I wasn't very appreciative of what you do last night." I will tell her straight because she's in her teens already. When she was younger, I don't talk to her like this, but now
Mm.
that she's in her teens, I have to tell her that, "Hey, your mood swing is really, fluctuating, and if you want to have more girlfriends with you, right, you need to like." Yeah, look at your mood swing or your
Mm.
temper when you're really not in a good mood. So I guess that she kind of recognized now, and that's why now we can have more fun. In the
Mm.
beginning, I think I have difficulty communicating with her.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Last bit about this part here. Um, so when she was younger, how did you manage then? Besides asking your husband to step in,
Honestly,
personally, how did you manage that?
okay, honestly speaking, back then I haven't learned Enneagram, right? And
Mm.
and because as a type 7, I'm always happy, and as a type 7, we like to avoid problem. And to me, I normally um, will avoid. And actually, and in one of our unhealthy cell of type 7, right, we tend to be a little bit rebellious as well. So I remember when I was younger, I was rebellious towards my parents.
Mm.
So so now that my children, like they're not on the same page as me, I tend to also have a little bit of the rebellious side of me, which means, okay, you don't talk to me, then I don't talk to you. So
Mm.
that I realized that surface up as well.
Mm.
And the person who pointed out to me was my husband. My husband said, hey, if she's throwing tantrum, are you also going to match her? If you're going to match her, then how are you going to parent her? So he was the one
Mm.
who pointed out to me that you may want to take note of your reaction towards your daughter. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, very good advice.
Yeah, to have our spouse, pointing out our blind spots
Mm.
because,
Yep.
we don't know what we don't know. And
Mm,
yeah, so I think that was really a very powerful point that your husband was able to spot.
mm.
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 Actually, being a leader himself is
Mm.
is good because he can spot all this thing that is happening in his department, in his company,
Mm.
right? That's why he
Mm.
also learn whatever he has learned from his company, and certain things that he can bring the context back to the family. He will say,
Mm.
okay, is this how you want to treat the children? Or to the children, he will say, is this how the way you want to grow up? So I think all this is very important, right? When we learn leadership, we know how to use the tools correctly and you know how to say it so that the wife here don't get offended.
Yeah. So Nicole, I think you said it was difficult for you to engage them at the level to address to their feeling when they were feeling down. But so what do you think is your growth path for yourself right now? I mean, apart from these, is
Mm.
there any other areas that you have identified that is your growth path as a type 7 parent?
Mm, I guess as a type 7, I just really need to control the unhealthy side. Okay, so don't display too much on the unhealthy side, because I notice like sometimes I tell my daughter off, my daughter will say, hey, you do the same thing. So I'm like, okay, so I need to keep myself in check as well. So I need to be more mindful and be more intentional not to show the unhealthy side of a type 7. Like rebellious is one of them, but like not disciplined or impulsive is also one of them. Impulsive could be sometimes, I noticed when I was younger, when I was working, I can get very frustrated when they start to ask me questions. Then I say, hey, don't disturb me. But actually, this is very unhealthy. I start to realize that, hey, if I keep doing this to my children, after a while, they don't want to talk to me. So I realized that as well, because I think I learned it from one of the talks that, hey, that's me. I'm doing it to my children.
Yeah, I think having a higher level of self-awareness that you catch yourself behaving in a negative, so like what you said, unhealthy behavior that will negatively impact the children. That's where you catch yourself. Yeah. I think that's very good awareness there. I just want to ask dig a little bit more about, just now when you say, because you tend to be very excited about so many things, happening
Mm,
all at the same time, right?
yeah.
And how about like how do you parent your children in the area of like self-discipline when we ourselves or yourself is like juggling with so many things? Are you in detail a person, or systematic in the way you handle things, you know
Okay, to be honest, I
mm,
am not very systematic, but of
mm,
course, I know my problem.
mm,
And that is why in our Women of Courage Asia, we have a type 3, right? So I know Lisa is a type 3. Helen is also a type 3. So when Helen give a talk on, wow, how to plan your day, wow, I tell you, this is a a session that I must attend. I see the way she planned her day. I'm very blown away, but also I feel it's very overwhelmed. So I can never be like her, where I can
mm,
take a book and be so detailed. But I do my best. So I
mm,
will formulate my own to-do list, for example, or the
mm,
prioritize the most three important things to do. So I always tell my children, I say, actually, if you want, you can go and play. I say life is not about studying and doing homework, but I
mm,
just need you to maybe keep track of your timing, maybe 30 minutes for certain subject, and then after that, after you do your homework, you can go and play. You can watch television for all I care. I don't really care, but you just need to do what is important to you to
mm,
make sure that you get the a reasonable grades. Because I don't expect them to. I'm not the kiasu parents, where you need to get 100 marks. No. But I think you just need to be accountable for your own grades, and
mm,
yeah, I think that's more important. And they must enjoy the process when they start to plan for themselves, because whatever they plan for themselves now is
mm,
exactly how they can plan for themselves in the future when they are in the corporate world, which this is
mm.
something that our parents didn't teach us because they are also not aware, right?
Mm. Yeah, I think going back to I mean, this ties back to the growth path, because like for the seven, right, one of the growth area is to learn from the type one,
Mm,
which is more, very detailed, very self-disciplined, very systematic, yeah, and do work in a very systematic way.
yeah.
Yeah. So in this aspect, would if you we are looking back at the younger days, right?
Yes.
Before Enneagram.
Mm,
Yeah. So how do you manage that challenge? Just now you did mention, it's kind of still quite general,
mm,
right? Yeah. So what happened back then? Is there a timetable, or how detailed did you go, or how not detailed is it? Yeah.
Okay. So before Enneagram, I'll just tell them follow your own timetable. The
So you
school day.
expect them to have their own, come up with their own timetable.
Yeah, follow the school timetable, or if you have
Ah.
homework, just make sure you do in time. So not as
Mm.
structured. So after I learned
Mm.
Enneagram is more structured, which means I feel that there's a lot of life skills that I've learned that I've paid like thousands of dollars to learn. Why I never translate down?
Mm.
So I think last year my son was taking PSLE. Then I say, hey, why don't you do this? You plan your days, you
Mm.
plan your subject so that it's easier for you.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think that kind of like helped him in check, because we were quite concerned about his grades. We are quite concerned whether can he go to the secondary school that he wants to go for.
Mm.
So luckily, last minute, I think my husband also took leave to spend time with him, and together with the planning, he make it to the school that he wants to go for. So quite
Mm.
lucky.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think for those parents out there, if you resonate, and identify with what Nicole has been sharing so far, and for those of you who just tune in, just a very quick recap. Nicole is a very successful working mompreneur, and for what she has identified and gain awareness is that her personality type belongs to those who are more adventurous, optimistic, and yeah, she want to experience a lot of things, and are always engaging with different things, and very very fast paced. So one of the growth area that she just mentioned was to be more detailed, right, to be more systematic in terms of planning and all that. So if you resonate with that and you realize that, hey, I'm also like that, then the growth area would be to really sit down and work with your child, work with your children in a more systematic way, which can be quite painful for type 7, right?
Mm.
Yeah, but that is what is needed. Yeah, right. And if you have if your spouse is a more detailed person, I think that is great. Yeah, that will be add on to that teamwork there. But if not, then this is something that we feel that is essential, right? As the saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Yeah. So planning and being detailed in the planning is one of the things that we parents would really want to work with our children. Yeah. What do you think, Alisa?
No, no, I was just reflecting and thinking, um, as a seven mom, because fun is the objective, right? Even when she has the traits of a three, even when she wants to be structured, when she wants to list out a certain number of goals, the end point will still be whether is it fun or not,
Fun.
right? Yeah. So I think I don't know. For me, if I imagine growing up with a parent that's a seven, it would be quite fun lah. I'm
Yeah.
not as stressed out even when she tries to plan things for me, because I know at the end of the day, her objective is not for me to achieve. Her
Mm.
objective is for me to have fun.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think the amount of stress level there probably might be a lot less, might be some lesser as compared to yeah, I think in my family. I mean, now that I mean, for me, I think I'm a bit more balanced, because I know
Mm.
uh I may also be with my husband. We say that, typically we are not very grades focused, but yet we will still plan like, okay, you must attend this, you must get this at least 80% for your related assessment, all these things. We'll tell him very specifically what we want from him, so there is an end goal for him. In that sense, he needs
Mm.
to hit. Maybe for Sam, he'll be like, you just do your best, lor.
And have
Right?
fun, and have fun
Yeah,
in
have
that
fun,
process,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that sense, I think might be a bit different. I was just reflecting, like, how in Singapore as a society, I think we are. If I were to type the Singapore society, right, it's a very type 3 society. It's a very
Yeah.
achiever based meritocracy kind of a thing, and whether we like it or not, that has permeated from the school system into our own family as well. So whether we like it or not, these grade stuff has already found its way, and the parents, whether we like it, we will still have that part where we will tell the children, hey, you need to hit that certain amount of standard, okay? You cannot make it. Right?
Yeah.
Nicole, am I right to say that there
Yeah.
is still that stress level, that even though I know
Li-
we want to have fun, but school is school lah, so you still need to hit there lah, please, at least.
Okay. So actually, what I did is, because I know I am not good at following up when it come to homework and stuff. So I leave it to the expert. So the expert is my husband. So I just do what I do best. I have fun. Then my husband will do what he do best. He will go and pressure them in his own way. So I
You had a good parent job.
yeah, I just have fun with them because I feel that it's very stressful for the children if both parents were to go onto them and say, hey, you have to do well. So that mommy say must do well, daddy say must do well. Then they are very, very stressed. So I think
Mm,
the good thing would be so for example, like Lisa, you know, you're type 3, you are looking for achievement, but then if your husband is not, then maybe your husband can be the good guy, right? Then you will be the, okay, I want this grade. But then your husband can be the one, okay, yes, mommy say is correct, but then maybe you want to enjoy yourself in the process or whatever. Like maybe chemistry, we can make it, or maybe chemistry is too high. Science, we can make it like more fun for them, make it more interesting for them so that they learn faster also. So just find ways and means to make it more fun for them so that they will not feel the pressure. I think as long as our children don't feel the pressure, that's more important rather than which
Yeah.
to type them. Lah.
my
Yeah.
husband is a type 1. So does that help?
Oh, spirit of excellence.
Military style.
Oh, really? Luckily you got voice.
No, I think like the good thing is I have very strong traits of 7, so I think that helps to
Mm,
balance
that
out.
balance
So
off.
yeah. I am achiever based, but I do allow my kids to have quite a lot of fun. So that's why I say my weekend is filled with activities for them. So they go outdoors and do all the things that they need to do to burn their energy, to vent their whatever frustration or during the week. So yeah, I guess the balance is struck for us in that sense lah. A bit different from maybe your family, but I think we have our own rhythm that we roll with. So I think so far it works. Yeah.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
I think it's very
That's
interesting to
nice.
hear the different way of parenting, and especially like you say, engaging our children. Like I also have very high 7 traits in me, so therefore, when it comes to learning, any academic subjects, right? Yeah, same thing. I will, and my 4 is also high, so it has to be fun and creative. Yeah,
Mm.
and I'm a
Mm,
kinesthetic learner, so everything that I engage them is very tactile. Yeah.
Ah,
So, I use arts a lot. I use a lot of activities, to teach, be it language or math or science. Yeah. So it shows up. It shows up in how we interact with our kids. Yeah. So it's very interesting that, different parenting styles. So for our audience out there, again, do take note and be more self-aware to like see what kind of activities are you engaging with your children? Like, is it like very detailed? Everything must be in excellence. So it's very, very interesting to see, how different parenting styles and how we engage our children in the activities that we do. So for the audience out there, if you resonate and you can see, whether you are the strict and compliant, but go by the book type, or the fun loving, everything must have fun in it type. Yeah. Or, for another personality, which I will not mention yet, but, the clue is a very chill, very laid back. Yeah. But the way we engage our children and activities that we use can give some clues, right? Give some clues
mm.
of how our personality will affect our parenting styles. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to point out what Lillian said. I under what Lillian said as well. I think, just by knowing what personality style we are is only the beginning. But
Mm,
the Enneagram is more than just about your own personality style. There's 8 different other styles that you can actually tap on to grow yourself and to help yourself balance out the pros and cons in your personality traits. So, it doesn't really need to be a one-way thing in how you parent. So there's always room for us to grow. And parenting is also a partnership, just like what Nicole has mentioned. She's the fun person, and then the husband is the one that do the more detail oriented kind of things with the children, right? So I guess you can always rope in your husband who might be a complementary, or to discuss how you guys can work together to be more all-rounded kind of parenting to your children. So I think that
mm,
that would be a better way to provide the children with comprehensive guidance as well, right?
yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have one last
So
question for Nicole before we wrap this
Nicole,
up.
yes, yes, yes,
Mm.
yes. So Nicole, type 7, I know you are off about fun, but surely you will have a stress trigger somewhere. What gets you stressed out when in parenting? What gets you stressed out, and how do you deal with that stress?
Okay, I get stressed out when, okay, I do not know whether is this a type 7 thing, but I cannot stand nagging. Please don't come and nag me. It's like, yes, you can tell me, you can remind me, but don't nag me, because sometimes when you nag me too much, oh, I will start to rebel, and then I'll say things, okay, enough is enough. Yeah. Then the aggressive part will come up, because I'm a type 7, a wing 8. All right. So according to my mentor, type 7 wing 8 or type 8 wing 7, we are the most aggressive type in the whole of Enneagram. So you make us on fire, then we will go on fire. Yeah. So I don't appreciate nagging, because I feel that, yeah, I already know, but there's certain things, if I can change or I can improve on, I will work on it. But if there's nothing, then yes, I appreciate a reminder, but please do not nag me. So a nagging will kind of like trigger me, and then okay, I will go
Right.
a bit aggressive.
Yeah, I just want to add on to what Nicole said, that because she bring up the wings. Yeah. So in the Enneagram profiling system, there is your core type, and there's also your wings, right? And actually, she also mentioned another terminology, which is the subtype. So that's above and beyond the wings. So of course, if you want to learn more about the Enneagram, and because it doesn't box people up, right? So no one type is the same, and even if you are the same type, like 7, no one type 7 is the same as well. We always have same but different, because there's so many variable factors that shape our personality. So but if you would like to find out more, then of course we have a workshop that will help you to discover more about yourself. Yeah. So Lisa. mm,
Yep. So if you want to know more about what is Enneagram, how to grow with the Enneagram as well, come and join us at the Knowing Me, Knowing You workshop. You can find that on the website that is below at classliving.com.sg. So yeah, come join us. It's been very exciting for myself, because when I first took out this class to learn how to be a better parent, what I did not expect to find was uh, so much more things blind spots about myself that I hadn't known and that I needed to work on. And with that, the parenting became easier, also because I was able to type my children. I knew how to react better to them based on what I uh, thought their type were. So that gave me more tools and more skill sets to help to deal with the situations. Yeah. So
mm.
come join us. Yeah.
Right.
And with that, I think we have come to the end of today's session. So
Mm.
thank you so much, Nicole, for coming to join us and share with us on the type fun loving 7. And thank you, audience, for coming to join us for today's session. And stay tuned for more of the parenting style with the Enneagram and next type, which would be,
9, is it?
yes, it will be the type 9 set. Yeah, so come join us then. And Lily, you got anything else to add on?
Yeah, just before we go, just want to let the audience know, if you want to connect with Nicole, how can the audience connect with you?
They can find me on Oi's channel, on IG, on Instagram or Facebook, Oi's channel. They can find me. Or I'm also inside this Woman of Courage Asia Facebook group. I'm one of the community leader as well. Just click on it and you can find me.
Come and
Right.
join us for the monthly empower meeting. Then you will see
Yes.
Nicole. I'm sure we are resuming on site soon, so come and meet face to face with us, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
And thank you
right.
for having me.
Thank
No
Appreciate it.
you. Thank you
problem.
for
Thank you
sharing
so
your
much.
parenting experiences. Thank you.
Yeah,
See
super
you in the
fun.
next
All right, see you
episode.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.